Okay, so for these, there's 4 problems here. These are all assigned on your weekly ALEKs. They're also test questions. I labeled them the title that they are on ALEKs. So if you're trying to like match this with the ALEKs assignment, because you like want to get this done on ALEKs, then this is the title that you'll see. So this is identifying and naming congruent triangles. So to identify congruent triangles, we use either SSS, side, angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. So that's what we're looking. We're looking for these combos. The only combination of S and A that doesn't work is the ASS one. So if you get that one, it's not congruent. Oh, I didn't realize it wasn't in the frame, y'all. Let me know. There we go. Okay, so those are the combos we're looking for. So for the first question, again, I wrote this on here because it didn't print all that well, but it has an angle in common and a side in common. So we need one other piece, really. So for this, we don't have enough information, so it's not necessarily congruent. It could be congruent, we just don't have enough information to prove. So not enough info for that one. And remember, after I'll go around and like check to make sure you have the work and stuff and give you credit. Okay, for the next one, it shows this, and we can see that we have side, side, side matching on both. So these are definitely congruent. And then in the drop down, you would just choose side, side, side. And then it also wants us to make a congruent statement. So for this, you have to make sure they're in the same order. So here it's GHI. So it's going GHI. So that's like 2 tallies, then 3. So I have to make sure to go that same order. So 2 tallies, then 3 would be this way, LKJ. LKJ. Triangle LKJ. Okay, and then for C, on these, like I said, I drew these in because it's hard to see on the copy, but we have angle, side, angle, matching angle, side, angle. So therefore, yes, they are congruent because of angle, side, angle. And then it says triangle MNO, so I'm looking at the order here, MNO, and that's like the 2 little arcs on the angle, and then it ends at the 1, so I'm going to do that. So it starts at the 2 arcs and then ends at the 1 arc, RQP. So triangle RQP is what you type in there. Okay, and then we'll move over to the right. Actually, there is one situation where the ASS combo will work. And they don't call it ASS, they call it HL for hypotenuse leg. So for this, hypotenuse leg, and it's abbreviated HL. Okay, it came to my attention earlier that people weren't quite sure what a hypotenuse of a right triangle is. So in a right triangle, the hypotenuse is opposite the 90-degree angle. This is the hypotenuse. It's the longest side, so that says hypotenuse, and it's opposite the 90-degree angle. Then in a right triangle, this is a leg, and this is a leg. It's the 2 that are adjacent to the 90-degree angle. Okay, so to use the hypotenuse leg, you have to have a right triangle. So you're going to ask, is it a right triangle? And then you're going to say, okay, do the 2 right triangles have a hypotenuse that's equal? Hypotenuse equal. And does it have 1 leg equal? If it has these 3 things, then you can say that the 2 right triangles are congruent because of hypotenuse leg. Okay, so for this one, it says, can the HL congruence property be used? Well, are they right triangles? No, they are not right triangles. So therefore, it's just automatic no, not right triangles. Then for B, are they right triangles? Yes, they are right triangles. Do they have a hypotenuse in common? Yes, they do. Do they have 1 leg in common? Yes, they do. I notice it is the AS angle side, but because, yeah, it's a right triangle, it does work. Then for this, is it a right triangle? Yes, it's a right triangle. Do they have a hypotenuse in common? No, it doesn't say. And then they have a leg. So they need a hypotenuse in common, so this one's no. They could be equal, but we don't know. They didn't give us enough information. And then for this one, are they right triangles? Yes, they are. Do they have a hypotenuse in common? Yes, the shared side would be equal to itself. Do they have a leg in common? Yes. So therefore, we can use HL to prove their congruence. Okay, then moving over here, finding side lengths and angles of isosceles and equilateral triangles. So here it says find the length of HI, so the length of this side. It shows that these three angles are the same. When that happens, you also have an equilateral triangle, meaning all the sides are the same length. So if this is 7, then this is 7, and then this is 7. So HI is 7. For these problems, sometimes I ask for the angle measure of the equilateral triangle. So to find the angle measure, since all the angles are the same, we can do 180 degrees divided by 3 equals 60 degrees. So this would be 60, 60, and 60 if they ask for the angles. Okay, and then over here it says find the measure of angle K. So this right here. It does show that these two sides are congruent, so it's an isosceles triangle. In an isosceles triangle, the angles opposite the congruent sides are equal. So this angle is equal to this because they're opposite the congruent sides. So if this is 40 degrees, this would have to be 40 degrees because they're equal. And then to find this last angle here, we can do 180 minus 40 equals 100 degrees. So this equals 100 degrees. Okay. Then over here, for this is a proof problem. There are going to be 2 proofs on your test. They are the ones from ALEKs. So definitely practice them and get comfortable and just practice them over and over until you can do them easily. For this, I would totally recommend, actually, I would almost like require you to sketch out the shape on a scratch sheet of paper. So this is going to be on a computer where you can't write on it. So I would just scratch out that shape on a piece of paper and then make the marks on it so you can see what's going on. So for example, it says ST is equal to TU. So looking at this, ST is equal to TU. And on my piece of paper, I would just like make those marks. And then it says that RS is equal to RU. So this is equal to this. So like I said, if you're working on a scratch sheet of paper, you just make the marks there. And then you can kind of see they're going to use side, 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 because you can prove this is equal to itself because of reflexive, and then just use side, side, side. So they want you to prove these are congruent. In the proof, they have ST is equal to UT, and the reason you'd have to choose is given. The next reason is also given, which is just the second part. So RS is congruent to RU, and they have you typing in RU. And then for the third step, RT is congruent to RT. That's just saying this is equal to itself, which we predicted, and that is the reason reflexive property. You just choose that from the dropdown. And then they're saying they're congruent. So then you have to determine whether it's side, 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 side angle, side. If you don't have it marked on your scratch paper, it's really difficult to tell. So make sure you have it marked. And then once you have it, it's easy to see side, side, side for this one. Okay, that's just so. What you're going to do is you're going to make it a priority to do your weekly ALEKs. Not only are you getting points for that, but those are also test questions that are on the test next week. So it's important that you are working on that. Then work on turning in your highlighted assignments on your progress report. Help one person with one assignment, and then ask to get your phone. And bye. Okay, I think the one person that's literally done with everything is Dylan. So just help one person with one assignment. And then, okay. So I'm going to end the recording here. I also